So I just received the first Easy Rider 3. I'm going to inspect it. The second one is right here. I'm going to just take the box off and inspect it real quick. Now I'm going to unwrap it and see what the next step will be. Unbox everything. You'll need a set of metric hex wrenches to make these adjustments. So I'm going to start with that. Once it's loose enough, you'll be able to move it to the position you would like. For moving the seat forward and backwards, you have this lever, and you can now, it's already forward, but you can move it back. Just like that. If you need to move it more forward, the seat, there's these two bolts that you can actually slide the whole seat forward. For the smart display, loosen these two screws with the number 3 hex wrench and then install it onto the handlebar, tighten up the bolts, and then connect the cable to the smart display. There's a little notch there, and you need to line that up with the cable. Make sure it's nice and tight for proper operation. Before I tighten up the screws, I'm going to connect the cable. Once the cable is connected, I will adjust it to where I would like it and tighten up the bolts. The notches should line up and will insert properly, and then when you tighten the collar, it will be a nice, secure, snug fit, just like that. The best part is this adjustable stem. It's amazing how many different positions you can get it in. To adjust the steering column and handlebars, press this button, lift up the lever. You need to go in the lower positions. I have here the number 6, and you have to line this up. It is tricky. You have to get it in a position where you can definitely feel it. There it is. I'm in there. And once it's in there, you can definitely feel it. And I'm going to turn this just a little bit to the minus. I can move this in or out, and I can also straighten the handlebar to the position it needs to be in. You might have to loosen the parking brake and lower it as you do it if you want to have it pulled out closer to you, because the wires definitely are stretched then. And then from there you slide that down, tighten it back up, put this in the position you want. I'm going to get it nice and tight right here, so right about there. All right, the handlebar positioning, what feels comfortable. Like I said, it can tilt all these different directions, much forward, further back, down, right about there. Hit the lever, squeeze the button, connects. So if you raise the handlebar a little bit to make it closer to the rider, you want to make sure you loosen the parking brake and lower it down a little bit, otherwise the parking brake is going to grab. Put it back in and straighten everything out. It is a tricky adjustment, but once you got it, best to have another person kind of help you out. And then, like I said, now that I raised that, pull out the handlebar a little bit, I'm going to loosen the bolts for the parking brake so it doesn't stretch the cable. If you ordered the optional mirror, now is a good time to put that on. The mounting bracket is already on, so it's positioned towards the back. I will loosen the bolt and tighten the bolts onto the handlebar. Installing the mirror, it's recommended to have metric tools, and the wrench I used was a number 13 to tighten up the bottom bracket. Installing and removing the battery. So first I'm going to remove the battery. This is magnetic, so this came right off. You can feel the magnet there. So it's properly positioned. Putting in the key, turn it, and you have to sometimes push in. Not sometimes, all the time. Pulling it out. There it is. Putting it back in. I'm going to take the key out. Line it in, and I like to get a nice hard push to make sure it connects, right like that. Now that I have everything connected, here's the charger. I can connect it nice and easily magnetically. Just wants to connect. Now that the bike has all the installed components and everything looks good and tight, and you read the manual, just want to show you, this is the locking mechanism for the front wheel. You don't want to touch the disc brakes at all with your fingers. There you can pump up your tires to the proper pressure. Looks like max 73 psi. I'm going to come around and power it up for the first time. So I had it once, it was thinking, I selected it again, and it powered up. All 5 lights are on. It did its cycle, it started up, and all we have to do is release the parking brake right here. We can adjust the gears. Right here it has 8 gears, all internal shifting. And we're ready to take our first test ride. So here's the Van Ram Easy Rider version 3, the newest ones that came out for 2021. I have the medium frame on the right and the large on the left, and I do have them lined up pretty well. And you can see the large is definitely a lot larger, at least by 8 or 9 inches. You can actually fit somebody on the large that's close to 7 feet, I believe. Where the smaller, or the medium frame, somebody about 6'3" could handle even the medium frame, and I'll show you that in a minute. Here you can see the motor in the back with the shock, adjustable seat, and this seat can go pretty far forward, both of these, and the nice rack on the back. To make it easy for charging, instead of bending down and charging, there's an extra cord that comes back and connects to here for a higher charge port. Got the battery back here, integrated lights, adjusting the back rest just right there. The seat can actually move forward and backwards by loosening these 2 screws on each side. And then right here is the lever to move the seat forward and back. But you can also move the platform of the seat forward or back. As you come to the front, you got the 8-speed internal gearing, the controller, really nice adjustable steering mechanism. You press that and it can literally go up, down. The steering column, the handlebar can tilt itself all different angles. The bell, we added a mirror, the brake system. But the very nice thing is the steering control. And somebody 5 foot can definitely use this one. Here, not bad. I think somebody that's 6'2", 6'1", possibly even 6 feet. I wouldn't want to go lower than 6 feet for the large. So I have the seats in the backmost position. I'm gonna 6'3", so I'm gonna show you the fitting. I'm gonna get on here, 6'3", and my leg length. You can see I have pretty good extension. And this is about as tall as you want to be on the medium. Might be able to be 6'4" even. As I come over to the large in the furthermost position, whoa, look at that.
Oh, look at that distance. That could be like 7 feet tall. Not too heavy. It's right around 6 feet. So you need to get into an elevator. That's what you're looking at.